Hello, I'm Charlene of the Rainbow Frequency, and today we're going to do a pick an object reading for how can I best bring positive change that will lead to my prosperity in the near future. So, prosperity is a multifaceted word that I like because it's all-encompassing as far as like health, material well-being, all of the above. So apply it as you will to your situation or circumstance. So first we have moss agate. Sorry for the glare. First pile. Second pile, amethyst. Third pile, rose quartz with bonus pearl and I guess gold. And then this is Moonstone, or it's a white labradorite. Oh yeah. All right. So starting with the first pile. Keep you guys in order. I'll jump around so I don't want to lose them. All right. First pile, moss agate. I love all of these, let's be honest, but let's see, moss agate, it helps us be the best us that we can be. So it helps with self-evolution, self-actualization. There are many properties. Look it up on the internet and sift through what sparks your interest. But I mean, as the name implies, moss agate, it's very earthy. It just helps you feel like you're settling in and getting to like the pith or your bones of what you're about, what you're doing. I love the energy. All right, so we'll start by pulling from the Druid Animal Oracle deck, illustrated by Will Worthington and Philip Carr-Grom and Stephanie Carr-Grom. I'm a big fan of all these decks. Obviously, I have all these objects. So it stands to be reasoned that I love all of these things. And I love a lot, if you haven't noticed. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, and if you're new, thank you for coming. I appreciate your likes, shares, all of your support. All right. Oh, we got the cow. This is divine feminine energy, kind of, to me, very similar to the Empress. You can see we have the mountains in the back, we have the water, we have the meadow and the sustenance. This is nourishing your environment in the divine feminine sense. Self-care for your, self-care that helps you to better serve others in a sense. And it's feeling comfortable in your own skin and knowing how to be a part of the environment and help nurture, support, motivate it. Currently we have a baby blue jay in the yard, and I've been wanting to help it, but then I've noticed that its parents are nearby and they're watching it, and they're the best parents ever because they're supporting it, they're feeding it, they're making sure it's safe, but they're letting it learn. So that to me is the epitome, rhymes, the epitome of good parenting. And good parenting should always be applied to oneself first and then outward, right? Alright. Oh, jumping too fast. Sorry. Star Child Tarot. I'm trying to get better at sharing everyone's. Created by Danielle Noel. Ah! Alright. Keep it moving. Alright. And I get, oh, all right. Okay. All right, we're going wild style. Take the bottom of the deck because I always like that. Oh, all right, and then, well, I mean, and we have a cow. Well, and it has horns, so that's always a bit confusing because that would be a bull, right? I mean, I didn't think cows had horns, but I could be wrong. But to me, that denotes being strong in your will and knowing where you're headed. Pun intended. Okay, so for whatever reason, I was led to just randomly pull 2 cards from the middle. So we got Page of... Bear with me. One thing at a time. All right, we got Page of Wands and the Sun. I mean, this card reminds me of my friend Casey, because she had a dog who was still with her energetically, etherically, Stoli, who was a white husky. And this is being comfortable knowing that you're on the right path and you're dreaming it in. And the sun is symbolic of abundance. It's an energy source. It sustains life. It's confidence, solar plexus. It's knowing that there might be a big mountain range ahead of you or rocky terrain ahead of you, but you're divinely led in knowing from that heart and soul space where you're going, so it doesn't matter what the terrain throws at you. Then the bottom of the deck, you got the King of Crystals or Pentacles. Again, this is one who is at the top of their material game. Having built the empire, the legacy, the community, all of the above that they want to have around them, to draw from, to work with, to be a part of. And they're very secure in that sense of self. You know, they have this, you can barely see it, I'm sorry, but this halo of the infinity symbol, which to me is that, like, the essence of in astrology, your 2 dragons being in harmony, or your ego and your higher consciousness, the yin, the yang, all being in balance. You are in, how do I want to say this? As an energy worker, you have to constantly be aware of where your energy level is. You have to make sure that you release what you absorb from clients or situations and then put it back, right? Like if you're learning how to work with energy, these are the things. Then ultimately you want to get to a point where you are secure in your center, so holy hell can break loose and you're on flat. Because then we got current position 7 of Cups. This is, to me, I mean, these are cups filled with crystals, which, if you know me at all, would be like a kid in a candy store. Or from afar, they almost look like sundaes. And there's that waterfall, which is, you know, a refreshing, healing, going up the mountain, ascension, and then you have, you know, the cosmos, expansion. So this is like being in a place where you're a kid in that candy store, or like, which Sunday do I choose? Which one is ultimately going to like knock my socks clean off and be the it? You know, I mean, and it doesn't have to be the it that's forever. It can be the it that's right now, and then there's always the next mountain. You know, put it into your circumstance. Advice from Spirit is King of Swords. So it's really get focused. You know, take that moment, take that time to pause, breathe, really lean in to what it is that you want. Be clear with yourself. You know? Because then you have the 9 of Crystals, 9 of Pentacles is again, like if you have the King of Crystals and you're moving up to being the Emperor, this is collecting all the resources and building up to achieving what it is that you've been after. Well, that's easy. So keep going, you know, like they say to me a lot, like if you knew success were guaranteed, how would you proceed? My answer is with confidence and enjoyment, you know? So it's hard to do sometimes, you know, but at the same time, like that's the motto, that's the mantra, you know, like it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Oh, sorry. Then to wrap it up, Rebecca Campbell, Work Your Light, Oracle cards. Oops. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided, which I said earlier, right? And you have, oh, it's hard to put them together. You have it repeating in these images, you know, this is knowing where you're headed. This is, you know, the Akashic Records is like this grand archive. To me, as a little kid, I kind of saw the things that were part of my, like, that sparked like what I wanted to be in a lot of movies, and one of which was in Ghostbusters. And I got to go to see this library with my dear Nancy, and I had my picture taken because I love the library in New York, where I wish I had the name on the tip of my tongue, but they go in and there's a librarian at all the card catalogs, and she's like, shh, because she's the record keeper. You know, she's putting everything back into the file cabinet, so to speak. Or like, in places that have lots of records nowadays, they have these amazing bookshelves that swivel and pivot and turn and come in and out like an accordion, and it's just like, holy cats. Like, there's a part of me that I feel like my brain is a bit like that, and I realized it's the way that one can access the file needed to help the person with the information that they need at any given time. So lots of people can, so to speak, access the Akashic records in this way, but it's just basically, which has been used in many movies, Eon Flux, like they go into this sort of record space, lots of movies, but it's the Hall of Records. It's where all information is stored, every which way in time. So anyway, tap into that. You have it supporting you. Where did I put the card? Anyway, ignore me. You have that. If I could tap in, where the heck did I put it? This is crazy. Anyway, it vanished. Well, that's just trippy. Anyway. In these moments, doesn't matter where the card went. We saw it, we know it. So lean in to the knowledge and let it guide you. Like they say that birds have this crystal in their brain that helps them navigate. So when you don't know the way forward, like in this, close your eyes and feel the way forward. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed that. Best of wishes, all the love, be well inside and out, holistically. And I will find the card later. Next pile. The Amethyst Moon. You know, so this is a sliver. It's not quite whole. It's speaking to the waxing and the waning of the moon. And amethyst is an energy that promotes sobriety, which is a multifaceted word in and of itself. It enhances intuition. It's protective. It's good to sleep with. So cocoon yourself in this and go with the ebb and flow. You know, work with the moon cycles, work with the energies that are around you to know when to start, stop. You know, like in hair, for example, there's a growing phase, a resting phase, and a shedding phase. You know, these maid mother crone, there are many different points. We're going to start with the essential oil oracle cards, carefully crafted and curated by Lisa Powers. All right, monthly is the main word. Keyword is receptivity. Trigger statement, I am guarded. True statement, my heart is open. This is a time for you to receive new information. Open your heart to receive it. Sometimes you have to release what no longer is needed to make room for the new to come in. Just saying. That may or may not apply to you, but you know, maybe declutter, clean your house, alchemical tarot. There are lots of ways. I mean, even just cleaning is a very refreshing, energetic activity. There are many things. Open your windows. Anyway. All right, last time, this is what we wanted to do, so we're going to do it again. 2 random cards, Queen of Vessels and Judgment, bottom of the deck. And 1, 2, 3. what they told me to do, so we're just gonna do it. Okay, Queen of Vessels and Judgment. This to me speaks of somebody who has really been through a challenging period where they've had to master their emotions, and kind of put things to rest in cycles, in parts of themselves, like kind of bring themselves to the mirror to look at themselves fully, to see what they need to work with going forward and what they need to shed and release. So good for you. And yeah, this is a time for you to receive new information. Open your heart to receive it, because you've been releasing. All right, so bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles is, what do you want to build? Like, what is, oh, sorry, 9. This is 9, but I'm speaking of the right energy, so there you go. What do you want to build towards? Like, because 10 of Pentacles is the legacy that you want to leave behind, and then, you know, go working towards the King of Pentacles. Currently, we got Queen of Swords in reverse. I don't always read reverse, but I'm going to take it in reverse here. This is someone that, in order to really build what you want on the material plane, you have to have your mind in focus. So this is you needing to get your head around a situation, a circumstance, and bring yourself into balance mentally, and we're going to reverse it, helping you shift energetically, as Jenny Florence does in her lovely readings, A to Z, emotional health. Anyway, you're in a position where you need to kind of hangman yourself and really get your head straight, you know, because it's not feeling the energy that this is an overwhelming circumstance. You know, you could feel like, holy cats, there's an avalanche of problems coming at me and I can't possibly circumvent this. But maybe this is just a training exercise and you got this, so just work through all the swords and don't be, because you've really worked through your emotions, you're not panicking. You're taking it all in and kind of ascertaining what's real, what do I really need to be worried about and what don't I? Because then you got the King of Vessels, which you went from the Queen of Vessels to the King, which is even further progression to where this whale is riding the ocean's waves, which can go from placid to tumultuous in a nanosecond, but they're stable, they sustain their own energy themselves. So we're going to end with the Literary Witches Oracle, written by, I hope I say this properly, I can't even say properly, Tasia Kitaiskaya, I hope so. Illustrated by Katie Horan. I myself have I've had names that people could not pronounce in the past and currently, so I do try. All right. Ooh, knife. Yes. Knife, or I like to think of this as maybe an athame, a dagger. It's, to me, a working tool to help with healing. I think of helping to, you know, like if we're talking about cutting cords, like you want to, yeah, I suppose cut it, but you want to, as I've been taught, by polylorazone. You want to remove the cord, dissolve it, transmute it, right? And then you want to put love back in. So you've been doing this for yourself. You're working forward in this energy. So if you feel that a situation requires a moment to pause and consider, take it. You know, like, nobody wants you to rush, so don't rush. Like, for example, I had somebody that wanted advice, and I felt like, oh, I should tell them right away. But then, no, I don't want to give them the wrong advice, right? I want to sit with it, pause, and then give them advice that took me the moment to consider it, which is what they themselves and I would want. So go with, you know, it's that treat others as you would want to be treated, but also like apply that to yourself. Like, don't rush into doing stuff just because you feel like that you need to make a snap decision. Go slowly. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. Best of wishes, all the love. Be well inside and out. All right. Third pile. We have the rose quartz with the pearl and this beautiful like bramble around it. Pearls to me symbolize wisdom, and it's like that hard-earned through like the pressure and trials and tribulations of living, that grit turns into what really makes you and is what you lean on to get you forward. And the real like wisdom comes from the heart space, and while it is shielded, it's still open. So lean into that, you know, like don't be in an armored defense letting nothing in. Allow for things that are in your highest good to come in, and let everything else that is not in your highest good bounce off of you. You know, like I think of Glinda the Good Witch, or like in one of my meditations, they gave me a sun catcher and they put it in my solar plexus, and that was so that no matter where I was, I could pick up even the faintest of light and reflect it outward, because, you know, I'm the rainbow frequency, so that's where it comes from. We're gonna go to the Goddess Knowledge cards, paintings by Susan Seddon Boulay, text by Michael Babcock. Oh, and anyway. Oh, you forgot two. Oh, Lady of the Lake. I love Lady of the Lake. And Minerva. Which makes me think of Sarah of Reiki Dreams. Okay, so Lady of the Lake. As in many traditions in which a goddess bestows kingship, the Lady of the Lake, a mysterious Celtic goddess, gave King Arthur the sword Excalibur and thus established his power and his right to be king. Sort of like being the authority of yourself. Before he died, Arthur restored the sword to her, and it now remains with her beneath the waters of the deep. Water, the source of life, has long been the domain of the goddess, and healing and the emotions. The lake both represent the source of creative power and the land of the dead, life-giving and death or renewal being the two main functions of the goddess. Water indicates both conscious and revelation. The Lady of the Lake is a guide to the mysterious realms of the emotion and renewal, a source of immense creativity. She can give us the energy we need to rule our lives. And then Minerva. Although Minerva, the Roman goddess of war and wisdom, is usually portrayed as an equivalent to the Greek goddess Athena, she was originally an Etruscan goddess of dawn. She is revered as a goddess of wisdom, for the light of dawn typifies knowledge, like the pearl. She guides heroes in war and is patroness of all arts, crafts, guilds, and medicine. Called by Ovid the goddess of 1,000 works, she was the inventor of musical instruments, numbers, and many crafts, including weaving. The serpent and the owl were sacred to her. The serpent is an emblem of life energy and the creative impulse, also a symbol of wisdom, divine feminine wisdom. Is also a goddess of death and transformation. Snakes transform, shedding their skin. Birds transform from egg to owl. An affirmation that we can use our knowledge and wisdom in pursuit of any goal we choose. Go ahead, you. Alright, The Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. And then I was led earlier to pull 2 cards randomly from the middle, or wherever really, and then go for my typical bottom of the deck and for the 3 top cards for a basic reading. Oh, yay. All right. The World, Cosmos, and the Chariot. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, because, okay, they just said an affirmation that we can use knowledge and wisdom in the pursuit of any goal we choose. So, Chariot, forward movement towards our goals. And then the World, you know, it's the end game. It's the end of the major arcana. And, you know, you can see this is someone who has in their mind the world in which they want to live in. It's in balance. You know, like purple is symbolic of intuition. The pink is the heart. There's green, which is heart. There's blue, which is your voice, truth. I mean, there's so much. It's you being in complete, being grounded, being in harmony, being in balance, being in touch with your emotions, and like you've arrived. You know, like the Chariot, the destination. All right, bottom of the deck, 6 of Emotions. So 6 of Cups, Page of Emotions, Ace of Voices, 3 of Emotions. All right, 6 of Emotions, 6 of Cups. 6, like 5 can be where you're kind of in this like growth stage where it's a little bit of facing conflict, letting go of some things to move forward for what you have going for you. And then 6 is the progression of building up that which you want in your life, you know, so 6 is like bringing the new in after you've walked away and let some stuff go. It's bringing new stuff in, you know, because then you get to the 8 again and you leave some more stuff behind to keep going to the 9 and then 10 of Cups, right? So you've let some stuff go, so start letting some stuff in. like new love, and love can be any way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to just be romantic, right? Page of emotions is where you are. So I like to think of the pages as being the like dreaming it in energy. So dream in what you want that perfect partner to be. Like, don't think necessarily of a specific person. Think of the characteristics. Think of like what your ideal person would be like, and see them with you, or like whatever this is. Like, dream in what it is as though it's already with you. You know, that's manifestation. Don't think of it happening future. Think like, be thankful that it's happened. Ace of Voices is, you know, aces are that new beginning. It's, you know, having the Excalibur in your hand, and charging forward with mental clarity, knowing that you're the hero of the destination or heroine, and that you're backed by all this wisdom and I mean, there's the owl again. You know, you have the wisdom, you're focused, you know, you have your ancestors, your guides, guardians, helpers, your emotional, you know, rainbows to me are that chakra balance, because it's building. You know, 3 of emotions, I think of 3 champagne glasses cheersing, and it's your community, your love, everyone coming together, celebrating what's building, right? And I'll just say, because there is an aspect where, like, if people are a bit envious of what you got going, then you're doing something right? You know? Just saying. Like, and that's really, like, when you're in this, like, celebratory, getting on top of your game, that's a time to also maybe, like, there are friends that you may have, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone, but there are friends that you have, they're really great friends when you're miserable. But when things are starting to be good, they're not very supportive. Pay attention to these things, you know, like, because then, you know, in the 8 of Cups, you might have to let some of these people go to really move all the way forward, right? Because blade, a blade is a weapon or a tool. So, you know, our tongues can be a weapon or a tool. And 6 again. So just be in that energy of being mindful that you're working towards creating the best possible world that you want to be in. So work with what resonates with you and let go of what doesn't. You know, like, there's always going to be in relationships conflict, and that leads to growth. But if it doesn't lead to growth, that's your answer. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Best of wishes, all the love, be well, holistically, inside and out. Alright. And the 4th pile. And I dropped you on the floor. Pardon me. The Rainbow Moonstone, Labradorite. Let's see. Okay. This is the energy to me of, like, the Fortress of Solitude. If you're at all a superhero fan, Superman, where he goes into that crystal palace where the information comes to him. Like, to me, that would be like the ultimate, like, meditation chamber where you're in that zone of channeling from your guides, guardians, helpers, source energy, God. So you have the ability. If you're not already doing it, start doing it. There are many ways to do this. You know, like you don't have to sit there. You can't see me, but you know, like Buddha with your arms. You don't have to just sit there and chant mantras. It's a great way. I love it. There's Qigong, there's Tai Chi, there's, washing dishes, jogging, gardening, exercise. There are many ways to do this for yourself. As a waitress years ago, folding napkins or rolling silverware, one of my favorite ways. It's just getting into that zone where you can really think. Driving is a great, long distance driving is a really great way, to me, to get your head straight. Good vibes. Positive affirmation card guide by Shaman Isabel Stoloff. That's the one. If you hadn't had the challenge, you wouldn't be who you are. Right? Through challenges, as humans, a lot of times, that's how we grow. Like it or not. On the material plane, that is kind of how we like to go about it a lot of times. Moving out of order. So I like to just kind of be in that mindset of being thankful for all the situations, the people, the trials, the tribulations. Thank them, all of the above, for helping me be the best me I can possibly be. Because whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So we're going to go do the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. And this card reading, we're going to I was led to pull 2 random cards, then the bottom of the deck, and then 3 top cards. All right, 3 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, Empress, 4 of Cups, 2 of Cups, Death. Dun dun dun! Just kidding. Okay, so 3 of Cups. And okay, so you have been along your journey. You've hit a milestone of having reason to celebrate, to be joyous, because you're ultimately building towards growing on the material plane what you're trying to build. Your environment. This is a person who is building a beautiful environment, a garden around them. They're nurturing it, it nurtures them. It's a beautiful ecosystem, community of support. So that coupled with the Empress, that's a very crystal clear energy that you're in. The Empress, again, is that divine feminine energy who is nurturing the environment around her, but also allowing for the time and space for self-care to nurture herself so that she can best give out as well. So the 4 of Cups is where you're currently sort of sitting. And some people think of this as a lack position where you're doubtful, but I get the sense that this is where you're in that quiet contemplation you know, like waiting for that nudge, waiting for the information, waiting for it all to come together for your next step. You know, a little bit of the like sitting with that tree, waiting for the guidance, the wisdom, that hangman sort of, you know, because then you have the Two of Cups, which is the advice is to really connect, you know, join with spirit, join with the community, your emotions. You know, this could speak of love, but this is a coming together of one way or another to really kind of, you know, because it ends with death. And so this is, to me, like if you're on your journey towards building the environment that you want to be in and a part of, and you are coming from a place of if you hadn't had the challenge, you wouldn't be who you are. This is a welcome death. This is the transformation, you know, the end of a cycle so that you can rise like the phoenix. I always say that, right? Again, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So go forward, having been forged stronger and more who you're meant to be, and letting go the old skins that we don't need to be working with, right? And favor for the new dawn. You know, it's darkest before dawn. You know, like say it's darkest before dawn, because you have to have that death that ultimately leads to the rebirth. So like say, for example, the sun, or not, sorry, I got ahead of myself. The moon sinks and it's dark so that then the sun can come in. Not always. Sometimes they're up together, but the bottle. Okay, so I love how this is. So this is, I'm like, instead of feeling a sense of lack because you know that you're missing a cup, you're in the energy of knowing that the fourth final cup is coming. So just be patient, you know. So this is perhaps that energy of somebody or something bringing the fourth cup in. And, you know, the bottle, is that like you're never alone. You know, like if you're waiting for the divine nudge, you're waiting, I don't know, like it's always there. What's meant for you is coming, it's yours. So try to really be patient and allow, like they keep telling me trust and allow, and it's very hard, you know, because we all, well maybe not we all, but I'm a very, like let's do this, you know, and it's hard to like be patient for the divine timing because it's not my timetable. I have to allow for everything to come together so it's not preemptive. So I hope you enjoy your reading. Best of wishes, all the love, be well inside and out, holistically.